Stone wrestling fans in the house tonight. If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let your boy tell you why. First and foremost, it's free. Can't beat that. Also, there's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Anchor's also going to distribute that bad boy for you so you can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or anywhere else people are listening to podcasts. You can also make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. So download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. But, maybe smoke some first.
Embrace the vision sounds like embrace division.
That might be the stoner thought of the fucking week, dude.
I like it.
Embrace.
Open your third eye, my God. Don't embrace
Division.
the vision, embrace division.
Oh, dude.
It all makes sense, man.
Dude, we have to be the only three people who've thought of that shit, man. Okay,
it's time, baby.
That's the sound.
Torch is here.
That's the sound. The alarm is ringing, and it's 4:20 in our hearts. It's actually about 10 minutes after. It is a Sunday. It is Elimination Chamber Day, and we are getting high on professional wrestling. That's right. It's the 420 Wrestling Hour. I am one of your three hosts, the stoner with the moster. It's me, Over Easy. Kyle
Damn, you be
Kush.
getting these AKAs in, bro.
The stoner with the moster? Are we calling the stoner with the moster an AKA? That's horrible.
I don't know, brother, but you good at this shit.
I literally be sitting up late at night being like, man, I want another AKA,
No.
but I can't think of
I
nothing.
did not think of the stoner with the moster. That was just off the top of the dome. I'm never going to say that again. Doesn't even rhyme. Stoner moster? No, that's horrible. I am, however, the Kush Ida of the 420 Wrestling Hour. Joining me, as always, who's with me in the room?
Oh, we got the beautiful JB Bad.
Oh, he's rubbing.
I'm rubbing myself my nipples, bringing in Remington and Lamont to the party.
That's right.
Just in case anybody tells me I'm right about something. The Impact Drivers come in, bow in your mouth. Maybe it happens this week. Who knows? Who knows what's gonna happen?
Stay tuned.
Yo, it's the illustrious Arium, a.k.a. Canary, a.k.a. the Stone Cold Stoner. There it is.
That's pretty good.
Is,
That's pretty
man.
good.
It's happening.
I'll give it like 6 out of 10.
It.
Stone Cold Stoner.
I'll take that.
How about Stoned Cold? That works. I'll call you the Stone Cold.
And I'm smoking on some lemon meringue.
Got a little lemon meringue. Is that Kush? Lemon meringue Kush?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you get that from Sunnyside?
I got this from Dispensary 33.
Okay, because we do we do lemon meringue Kush as well. But what are you smoking on today, JB Bad? This is a 420 wrestling show.
I'm smoking on that Amnesia Haze.
Ooh,
I love the name of that. Just Amnesia Haze. I just like saying it.
Just making you
foggy. Everything's gonna get foggy.
Just making you forget your memories.
I'm lost. Who am I?
And currently, hey, this is episode 16. I'm about to bring this bitch full circle. What am I smoking tonight?
Oh,
I got the lemon bean.
Hey,
Oh,
yes,
shit.
the lemon bean is back.
The lemon bean is back. That straight sativa, because I've had a long day. But because sativas really do fuck with my brain sometimes, especially the higher testing ones, make me a little racy, bring out my anxiety. I've also got a disposable pen of the Master Kush, a really good indica. So I got a little ensalada going on here. I'm making my own hybrid, if you will.
So you're tossing salads, what you're saying?
I'm what?
You're tossing salads while we do this podcast.
I am tossing salads on the show.
Good man.
Which reminds me of since we listened, and this is a tease for later on in the program when we have our very first guest of the 420 Wrestling Hour joining the sesh for the first time. That's one Kevin Crazy. And listening to his promo on our show last week, again, this is the second time we've played it. He did say he was going to come on our show.
Hey.
So I just want to make sure that doesn't happen because it's not that kind of show. He said he's excited to come on our show, and I don't want that to happen.
Look, if we're really good,
I mean, you're only seeing face up. So
that's true. I mean, do what you want to do. Just just don't make it too noticeable. I guess we'll cross that bridge when we come to it.
Bust. Go ahead and bust.
So we've covered the weed part since this is the 420 Wrestling Show. We're getting high on some pro wrestling and giving you our high-minded pro wrestling opinions. We like to think they're top shelf and they're not, regs or swag or whatever you call bad weed.
No reg opinions. We don't do the reg opinions.
No, but we do have some opinions.
No Reggie Bush.
So today's the Sunday. Today's the Elimination Chamber. We are fully on the road to WrestleMania. We are going to record a little review of the week in wrestling right off the bat. Take a little break, watch the damn show, and then hop on right after again and give those instant reactions of the Elimination Chamber. So stay tuned for an action-packed. Much higher.
We'll be much higher when we finish.
We're starting to get high now at 420, and then we're going to get even more high when the chamber takes place. So it's going to be a fun night to be an audience member of the show.
And this week, if you hate this format, you can blame me.
How was our listenership this week? Did we see? Or
I think we got over. At first, it was like stuck at 9 for a while.
Yeah, we got into double digits, right?
11. Yeah, we got into double digits.
Then we're okay.
That's all I wanted to say.
We're okay.
And we rise
we're
up.
13.
13.
So.
See, that's right. We right where we're supposed to be.
This is going to be.
Right where we're supposed to.
We're
be.
building our audience slowly.
See,
we're slow cooking these. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Cook.
No, I was saying we're slow cooking these followers, just like WWE does with a lot of their storylines, and AEW for that matter. Slow cooking of the storylines, very slow cooking.
What I want to say is I'm most appreciative of the return listeners. Like the idea that 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 of y'all are coming back over and over again. I appreciate you the most, especially you, Eric. Thank you, Eric.
No doubt.
You mean the world to me. I don't know if there's an Eric, but if there's an Eric out there, he's probably marking out.
I feel like there's an
Eric.
There's got to be.
There has to be. Eric's the man.
It's a small following right now, but it's mighty. And the thing I've noticed about the few people who have found our show is that they feel like they found a show that's been specifically made for them. And that's what we're here for. We are here for the wrestling stoner fans. And we know there's millions and millions more of you out there. And if you somehow come across this, give us the follow at 420 Wrestle Hour, Twitter, Instagram. Get on Anchor. Leave us a voicemail. Engage. # join the rotation. Just like Kevin Crazy is going to do tonight.
Maybe you can be on the show.
Yeah. You can be on the show.
Exactly. So do we want to jump right into this? What happened? Do we want to go back to Monday Night Raw?
Yeah, let's bring that in. What happened? Monday Night Raw.
Let's get into the week.
Building towards EC.
What'd you say?
Well, we had what'd you say?
I didn't hear the joke.
Oh, just I said building towards EC, not ED. No erectile dysfunction.
Oh my gosh.
We're not building towards ED.
Before we get into Monday Night Raw, Canarium, did you send the Canaries out? Is there any big news outside, in the world of non-kayfabe to talk about this week?
I don't have much. I know that Young Rock debuted this
Rock.
And I didn't get a chance to catch it, but did y'all get a chance to catch it?
No, I missed that one.
You guys didn't watch
caught
Young
it?
Rock? What kind of wrestling fans are you? There's a
busy one.
There's a primetime television show about the biggest star in the world he's going to be our president, and he happens to be a pro wrestler. And this story is about Young Rock. It's the story of Young Rock. It's a sitcom, yeah. So if you don't like sitcom formats and shit like that, maybe it's not for you. But the cool thing that I thought about this show when I watched it is that for us, as 30-somethings who grew up with The Rock as a wrestler, that's how we knew him. But just in talking to people who I work with, coworkers about this show, who obviously they all know The Rock, he's the biggest star in the world, but they are too young to have ever known The Rock as a wrestler. So this is really his introduction to a lot of the younger fans that he has, to where he came from. I mean, they don't know him they knew he used to be like a WWF guy, but that is not even close to the world in which they know this guy. And at least episode 1 was very pro wrestling themed. I mean, it was really great to watch. Just seeing like the group of 80s wrestlers that they had and the actors who were playing them. And we're only going to get more of that as the show goes on. So if you're a pro wrestling fan, this is a show for wrestling fans. It's great. And it's also, I mean, the first episode is titled Working the Gimmick. He's talking about like his dad being over right like 3 seconds into the show. I mean, it's an educational experience for people who don't know the world of wrestling. So
I wonder who's producing it.
The Rock, probably.
$7 Productions, The Rock's production company.
I mean, that is just so big for WWE.
Well, you mean they promoted the shit out of it, so they know it's gonna be good for them.
They have to know that they're gonna get some eyes from that. So that's why I was asking whose money is in it, because this can only bode well for WWE.
No doubt. And I joked. I mean, you laugh when I say that he's going to be our president, but this is a plot point in the show. The whole device is that The Rock is giving an interview, as he's running for president about his life. So I mean, this is going to be the reality. The Rock is going to be our president. You heard it here on the 420 Wrestling Hour. It's going to happen. This is just that
would be very on the nose to write something.
It would be.
Dog. Donald Trump went down the stairs in The Simpsons like it's been ordained. This happens on TV. I mean, I think this is even more on the nose. Like he's putting it out there because there's been rumors and innuendo about him running in the past, but it's going to happen. He's going to be president.
Okay, man, that's wild.
Yeah.
You're gonna love it.
He's got one vote. He's got one vote.
Thoughts,
and we're all gonna love it. We're all gonna vote for him too.
And we'll see.
Unless he might run as a Republican. We don't know.
He might run as
anything.
Very moderate.
Super, milk toast as it
Super
can be.
middle.
But if anybody can unify us,
it's The Rock. Rock bottom, the enemy.
Yep.
Take that elbow pad and stick it.
Pretty much. But yeah, some of the jokes are a little cringy. It's a sitcom at the end of the day, but I think this is required viewing for the wrestling fans of us. If you watch it a couple times and it's not your thing, don't do it. But
listen, Oveezy, you gonna quit giving me required viewing?
Yeah,
I do give you a lot of required viewing.
I added Talking Smack. I added Raw Talk before you.
But
even
listen.
Now
The Rock needs this money. Like he needs. He's struggling, and if we all pitch in and watch his show, maybe we can help The Rock live a better life.
Oh my god!
And that's
I bought 2 bottles of his tequila. I know he's doing okay.
I still need to get this tequila, and now he's got an energy drink out that I want to buy too.
Listen, there's a lot of
There's a lot. He ain't giving us no money.
Watch his show if you want.
Now he don't even like the show no more because he heard all these ads for The Rock.
I know. I'm sorry.
I
love The Rock.
He's got his own shoe brand.
I know. Let's talk. I could go on and on and on. He's a great man. Anyway, let's talk about kayfabe wrestling.
Well, we got a new champion, a brand new champion,
Bad
taking
Bunnies.
over. Bad Bunny, baby. Oh
This
my
is clever
goodness.
as fuck, bro.
The rain is. I think. Shoot. I should have looked. I gotta watch SNL. I wonder if he brought the title belt on.
I wanted to watch it so bad last night, and then for some reason I usually can watch it live on my Peacock app, but I think they changed it and it's not working now. I couldn't watch it live. I don't know why, but I have not seen it either. I don't know if he brought the title on SNL.
I probably didn't, but I'd like to dream. I can dream. I'd like to see R-Truth win it back during a sketch.
Oh my god,
that would be my ultimate dream.
Nobody would have understood what the fuck was going on.
Not a clue. Not a clue.
But a good way for like NBC and Peacock to kind of slowly, bring him in under the umbrella. But we'll see. We'll have to watch SNL.
Bro, R-Truth is hilarious.
Yes, he is.
By the way, I know you guys haven't started watching Raw Talk yet, but you know just how it's Caleb Braxton and Paul Heyman.
No, that's talking. Raw Talk is Charlie Caruso, right?
Yeah. Right. So that's what I'm saying on Fridays. So then on Mondays it's Charlie Caruso and R-Truth. And he's just so fucking funny.
He's the best.
MVP and Bobby Lashley were on there this week, and R-Truth just like would not let up on MVP and Bobby Lashley, bro. Like he just doesn't give a shit. Like sometimes I'm like, are you pissing people off in the back? Like some people seem like they're genuinely annoyed with you, but you are great TV.
And it's been consistent for like a decade plus that this consistently funny mid-card storylines. You don't really. He's a true unicorn in that sense. Like somebody just posted something on Instagram that I saw just yesterday, which was I don't know if it was some kind of tournament was going on. It was like the Miz, Kevin Owens, Roman Reigns, Dean Ambrose, and they were all in the ring about ready to they were cutting promos on each other. This tournament they're about to. This was in like 2009 or something, maybe to 2012. I don't know, years ago. And R-Truth is in the ring, like, he cuts a great promo about like how he's fought and now I'm gonna win the WWE Championship, and everyone else is kind of looking around, and then the Miz is like, Truth, you weren't in the tournament. It's been going on for weeks, and you've never been in it. And Truth is just like, okay, I got some bad information. This is on me. I'm gonna go. Sorry. And then he like shakes Roman and Dean's hand and wishes him luck. And he's like, the rest of y'all know. It's like, and it seemed like that could have been last week on Raw, but this was years ago, and it just illustrated how consistent this dude is
and how black people don't age.
What'd you say?
And how black people don't age. That dude looks exactly the same as when he was K Quick.
K Quick, yeah, my God.
K Quick getting rowdy.
I tell you, man, like he drinks the fountain of youth all day. Like he got it.
Truth.
My goodness, him and was it Paul Rudd just don't age.
True.
Shout outs to Paul Rudd.
Shout outs. Oh, and Sting. Sting, he looks great too.
Behind the makeup.
Let's not jump.
They look good in the memes that we saw this week. Laid up. But that is for another conversation.
Lacey's pregnant.
Hey, congratulations.
For real.
Congrats to Lacey.
So
I hate that it's now in a storyline, but congrats to you, the actual person who is pregnant.
So it wasn't confirmed to me until we got on, the video chat before we started recording, that this is kayfabe and not kayfabe. She's legit pregnant.
Yeah, they're gonna make the most of this storyline.
I was not sure about that point until I talked to you. I was kind of like up in the air. I think even in some of the dirt sheets about whether or not it was real or not.
Right.
And as I say it now, maybe I don't hate it. It's they're making the most of it. There's a natural out for it. You can go a bunch of different ways with it. It's a very versatile story, so go with it.
Do we worry about the child though? Like, I mean, as far as like, I don't know how old you should be as a man impregnating a woman. Does this child run the risk of birth defects with the father being in his higher 70s or pushing 80s?
I think when you have Ric Flair's baby, you it's the most powerful.
Speaking of Fountain of Youths.
Yes, like it's Space Mountain baby, so that baby's gonna be awesome since it's Ric Flair's baby.
The baby doesn't cry when he comes out; he just comes out going woo, like coming out of the womb is like a slide, and he's just woo.
He does the flop for his first couple steps, like just go straight down.
That's hysterical.
Yeah.
No, it was. I mean,
I like about it is that Asuka doesn't have to face Lacey because that makes zero sense.
That's nice.
And it's a waste of Asuka's time.
That's nice.
Well, Asuka needs to go ahead and quit getting these her opponents pregnant and stealing these matches from them. She's cheating. All right. Cheating.
It's true.
Don't be scared, Asuka. Fight your battles. Don't get Seth Rollins to get Becky pregnant. Don't have Ric Flair to get Lacey pregnant. Just don't be scared. Fight them.
We'll have a ceremony on the show tonight where Asuka will get the W from a briefcase because she didn't have to. She didn't have to win again because her competitor was pregnant.
I'll tell you something random I watched this week. Charlotte's debut or return, I guess, at Tables, Ladders, and Chairs. They had like a WWE day of, and she was just talking about how like her relationship with Asuka and her those two were backstage, and they were just so excited to see each other. Like when Charlotte finally got to the arena, and Charlotte just had so many amazing things to say about Asuka, and just said that she's like the foundation or just like the glue of the division. And just like keeping it all together and just like so solid and consistent. I was just like, oh my God, it feels so good just to like know that I love Asuka, but that also like her coworkers love Asuka.
It's good when she's appreciated like that by her peers because she definitely deserves it.
Not surprising, but definitely good to know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that shit made me feel real good.
It's like when we meet our idols and they turn out to be good people because sometimes it's the opposite.
Exactly.
Very rarely does that happen.
Very rare.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Kofi Mania's back.
Kofi Mania 2?
Back into the chamber.
Sequel? The sequel?
Yeah, it's coming. Kofi.
Vince, don't play with me, bro. Do not play with me. I wrote Kofi Mania Part 2. Do not play with me, Vince.
Watch him make you think Kofi's going to win this Elimination Chamber until the last second.
Watch.
He will be out first.
Kofi's going out first.
That's probably what's going to happen, but wouldn't it be even more cruel if they start hyping up Kofi Mania and the announcers, and you're like, are they going to do this again? And then they just go, psych! Lucy pulled that football out from underneath Charlie Brown, and he's taking a bump.
Kofi's gonna go out by end of days to Baron Corbin because there's no reason in the world that we won't try to put heat on Baron Corbin. It's just how it always goes.
Oh, Baron is in this match. He doesn't even have his Kingsman anymore. This sucks.
Poor bastard.
Do you guys like them pulling Miz?
Yes.
I like it.
Yes. They should.
Me too.
The Miz should have never been in the match. He has the money in the bank. It's a championship match. Like it.
Sorry, keep going.
You want there to be the mystery, right? This is why they've royally bungled this Money in the Bank thing. Because every time there's a championship match, we should be thinking like, oh God, he could do it. He could cash it. That's the whole device of the prop of the thing. And I've completely forgotten that the Miz even has this belt, has this briefcase. Even when Drew McIntyre's throwing it across an arena, I'm like, it doesn't. Do we think? I mean, the Miz and Morrison, they're a joke. Am I off base here?
I mean,
I don't think so.
I think that's but I think that's the other way that it works. Like, it works when you know it as a constant threat, and the other way it works is when you completely forget about it and it sneaks up on you.
Good point. Good point.
Now, I'm not saying that they're doing the most effective version of this. I don't like that Miz and John Morrison are going to be champions that we wouldn't ever want to see. You know, like, I don't really want to, like, it's not, I'm not loving that, but it's not the worst thing in the world that they're doing with it. But you're right. I don't see where it fits in here at all, even narratively. I don't see where it fits in at all before WrestleMania.
What month is it? What month is Money in the Bank?
I mean,
isn't it like right after WrestleMania?
That's why I'm like, it's coming around soon, because it was like right during like the beginning of COVID, I think, because I remember Oscar they were, like, all scaling the building, and I think Rey Mysterio got thrown off the building or something and died.
I think it's like it's like in the summer, isn't it?
It had to be April or May.
Well, it's April's Mania, so maybe it's right after. Isn't it May?
It might be the first pay-per-view after.
Then we're at the point now, like, the Miz is not major enough to be like cashing in at WrestleMania. No one's gonna care about that.
Right. No. It's like, the thing that's missing from this is either the person needs to be over enough that it could happen at any time, even if we forgot about it.
Yeah.
Or they need to be a constant looming threat.
Right.
And
the Miz is neither
of these things is happening.
The Miz can't even win a match when it's handicap, him and Morrison. He's a joke.
Yeah.
True that, yeah.
And it's like, I mean, maybe now that I'm thinking about it would have been a better idea to keep the dude in the match, because you're not thinking he's going to cash in, but then, like, Drew wins the match after a hellacious fucking Elimination Chamber match. The Miz has been, like, eliminated third, so you've forgotten all about him, and then he comes back and wins the match. You know, that maybe that could have been cool, but it would have been something I wouldn't have expected going into Mania. And Drew, I'm getting bored with him, if I'm being honest. Yeah. So I need something to happen.
You know what? He had some different energy this week that I really liked.
Sure.
Like, I want him to be a hero. And I think Vince also wants him to be a hero, but he wants him to be like a clean cut, like, do everything right type of hero. And I kind of want him to be a badass, like, just kick everyone's ass, like, Stone Cold Stunner type hero. And I just don't think that they want to do something like that with him. But he can.
In 1995, I'm watching, Big Daddy Cool Diesel is champion, and he is struggling with the exact same issue. Diesel is a badass, and Vince wants him to be Bret Hart. And
yes, that's what it seems like he wants him to be
like,
right now.
Diesel's cool, but he's not for the kids. You know what I mean?
Right.
You know?
Drew used to be the Scottish psychopath. And now he's the Scottish warrior.
Yeah. Lovable.
That's
right.
It's a warrior.
Very lovable.
And I'm over the knife thing in the same way that I don't like the sword thing, in the same way that I don't like Xia Li doing the knife dance. He's not going to use the fucking sword. And after I'd already made this point, I heard that, of all people, Vince Russo made this point, bro. He did. I saw I actually don't know how often or how not often I agree or disagree with Vince Russo, because I'm never seeing his opinions. But this did happen across my Twitter or Instagram timeline, And I thought, well, he's right about this, in my opinion. And when he comes out, I'm jazzed at first because he puts it in the air and I'm like, oh, he's going to slam it down into the ground and make an explosion happen. But then he's got a small hole he's got to fit that bitch in. So it's like, I'm Drew McIntyre. And then, hold on, I'm going to put the sword in. And there's my pyro. It's not the timing of it is not badass to me. It's bungled.
That is like a object lesson for what it's like to be a WWE superstar.
Okay.
Like, that's what it is.
Okay.
A giant sword wielded above your head that you have to fit into a tiny, tiny, tiny hole to make the pyro go off.
Wow.
That's a metaphor for what it's like to be in the WWE, I think.
Yeah, like there had to have been an easier way to do that to make it seem cooler.
True.
And until he impales Randy Orton or decapitates another man with it,
you're not impressed.
Not impressed. So I don't know. Drew is worrying me a little bit, which is why as we get into a little bit of Elimination Chamber preview, and we'll talk about I guess our predictions and things like that.
But the gauntlet match was pretty good.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
I thought.
Yeah, I think that's what saved the episode.
I think it saved the episode for sure.
As a storytelling device, I think the gauntlet match has proved itself a really good way to do that and to build new stars and characters. I'm not saying they really did that with this gauntlet match, but it took up a whole hour of programming during a 3-hour show. So that alone is going to make Raw better than it usually is.
Yep.
Here's one thing I didn't talk to you guys about before we started. This Alexa Bliss promo gave me a lot of fucking hope. And hopefully it's not misplaced.
Oh.
But she said in the future he will be reborn. I trust Bray Wyatt, bro. Like, I feel like this is all going to be worth it.
I'm down.
Like, I have really high hopes, my guy.
Calm down, you said?
Like, you said, what do you think?
I'm down. I'm down with. I'm part of the cult of Bray Wyatt. I'm not only always into what he says. I'm just rooting for him because I think he's a talented actor and wordsmith.
Yeah.
And I want it to go well. So yeah, I'm in.
I really hope it does. This one gave me hope. I'll say that. When she said in the future he will be reborn, I was like,
it worked for me. Alexa worked for me this week because I think it's been a few weeks since we've seen the magic shit. Has it not?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And when you're not doing it every week, it's more effective. And I thought the screen effect was cool. When she took over all the screens, I did question with a character like Randy Orton, who's a fucking veteran of mind games, and who's a snake in and of himself, a snaky dude. Would he really allow himself to be so distracted in a match with stakes? Because normally, not a lot of WWE matches have stakes. Right now, we're fighting for something in this gauntlet match. Like, you could be the last entrant in the Elimination Chamber. That's the shit I wish they would do with Survivor Series. Like, let's put some stakes on this match. So this gauntlet match had a reason to fight, and you're gonna let the screen trick like count you out? I questioned that a little bit, but it worked.
Mm-hmm.
That's something Randy Orton has never seen before.
I guess you're right. Crazy.
Like that's the first. I mean, I know that they've like turned off the lights before, but we're now just being in the Thunderdome for the first time ever in wrestling, and this character like took over all the screens surrounding the ring, and I question if Randy Orton, as a character, even cares about the WWE Championship right now. Like, I think his main objective right now is making sure he buried the Fiend, and that he is dead, and that he'll never return.
So this is the Mania story, Orton and Fiend.
Right.
So they got to have something big planned for this blow off. I mean, we literally burned this guy alive. I'm excited about it, and I'm like you said, I'm in the cult of Wyatt too. I'm always going to give this dude the benefit of the doubt.
Oh yeah. Like he's. I like that, the cult of Wyatt. That's smooth.
Yeah, I think you coined it. One of you did just now, but
that's good shit. Do you want to move on to SmackDown?
Is that it for Raw?
I think so.
Smack it down.
Our hero's down. Biggie down.
Yeah, he is down.
He is hurt.
That dude was sitting there eating that Hungry Man dinner on the couch, and I was very confused as to why he was out there.
I don't know, guys.
He shouldn't have been, apparently.
And then
I'm worried about Biggie.
Shouldn't have been, apparently.
Should have stayed his ass in the back.
What do you think, Over Easy? What's going on?
I don't know.
Because I tended to like it, actually.
You
the
like the segment?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Apollo doesn't have a personality. I was listening to myself talk about that on last week's episode. He really needs something to like make him more interesting. And this week he was more interesting. Like him just like going into business for himself because he feels so neglected and so like overlooked in his like career in WWE. I liked it. Like him standing toe to toe with Big E made me realize just how big he is.
I was like,
he's not a small.
He's not a small dude.
He's yoked.
I don't know if
He's
it
not a
made
small dude,
it
bro.
kind of made Big E look small, but it definitely made Apollo look bigger than I knew.
It did. But you know what? I agree, but I think because of that, it made the program more interesting. I was like, okay, Big E's not that much bigger than him. Like he's big, but like not like that. So yeah, I don't know. It just added another layer to what's going on.
Apollo's starting to spit
Big E's
fire.
still having a great little run.
Mm-hmm.
That shit about his like his ancestors being royalty and shit. I was like, okay,
Yeah.
more of that, please.
Yeah,
That's
like,
badass. Like, let's turn into a fucking warrior here. Come on,
Mhm.
it's in your blood, Apollo.
like that's more than I've known about Apollo ever.
Exactly.
You know? So I'm loving that, and the stuff with the steel stairs and dropping it on his head, like loved it.
Yeah, I like
Absolutely
that.
loved
I
it.
liked
Yeah, man. Big E didn't have his damn shoes on the whole time. Where's this man's dignity?
Mm-hmm. No shoes. Let me get my shoes. Is this your
Let
king?
him get his kicks on the whole time. I was like, he's barefoot, man. Like drop those damn stairs on his foot. He's out. Like
Put me in the middle of put me in the mind of midway through Black Panther, man. Like I wasn't having a time.
So I mean, this is turning into a little blood feud. I mean, maybe this is the IC title match at Mania.
Mm-hmm.
Could be.
Could be.
I mean, and
And maybe they're just cooling it down for Big E to return after this this injury.
Yeah.
Now, you think he's gonna be gone for a couple weeks or just 1 week?
Should be.
Or maybe not at all.
I'd like to see him gone for at least 2 weeks.
and
I think so. Too.
I'd like to see him come back and have a new veneer, a new like. I don't need him to come back like heel or like a whole new gimmick or something, but just like shed another like quarter of the goofiness off, maybe.
I don't know if that's gonna happen, and the only reason I say that is because they have a WWE 24 coming out right now.
Okay.
That they're advertising, which I don't know if it's coming out this weekend or next weekend, but the whole thing is kind of talking about how Big E is like an introvert, but like his goofy self is like what got him over with Vince. So I don't know that they're gonna take away from that because I think he's a different type of champion than we've ever seen. I don't know that you've seen someone so imposing that would also just like seem so comical at the same time.
Yeah,
But maybe that's what's not working for you.
I don't know. And I've seen him start to do. I mean, even the week before on SmackDown, it wasn't really like good guy shit that he was like babyface stuff that he was doing with Apollo, like getting in his face and telling him to go back to catering and shit. Like
Nah.
that I was appreciating, and how like they're not turning Big E heel here. Apollo's the bad guy, E's the good guy, but they're showing that layer to E, like he's not fucking playing.
Yes.
And I know
He can do
I
both.
get what they've been doing that slowly, again, the slow burn here over weeks, but I guess I'm ready to see it kick into another gear. And we've seen it at times. Like he put Sheamus through a car like a month ago or something. So I guess maybe I'm ready for a Big E heel turn. Maybe I'm ready to see him turn on his New Day brothers. Something.
Not yet.
Not yet?
Nah, never that.
Not yet.
Never that.
Never that.
Okay, maybe not.
Nah, kill that.
And we love them together, obviously, but
I could see it
nothing
happening.
sacred in
Honestly,
wrestling.
I could
There's
see it happening.
I can see it, but I don't want it.
I don't want to.
and
see
which
it,
which
but
is
could
why
see
I think
happening.
it would be effective because you don't want it so bad.
It
Yeah.
can work.
Yeah,
Maybe.
you're right.
As far as other
Maybe.
heel turns, Otis just turned on the also heel Mysterios.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
How do we feel?
You know what? One thing though, kind of not even related to this. Ray and Dominic came out, and I was just like, man, this is adorable as fuck. I was just like, man, this dude gets to go to work with his son every day. This dude gets to go and walk down the ramp with.
It's
his
cool
man.
for them. Is it cool for
It's
us?
It's not cool for us, but like, I was just like, man, this is fucking awesome.
That would be cool, and I'd like that if they didn't accidentally keep making them cheat. Like, I could enjoy that more.
Yeah, like, what's going on? They're all they do is cheat, but they're good guys.
Okay. It's just
Ray's always been a good guy. Ray is
the mid card sucks.
Yeah, just don't pay attention to the fact that they're cheating. It's father and son. It's all lovely.
Father and son lucha. They wear Gucci and they're Gucci.
Otis is gonna make a good heel, I think. You know?
So
big boy, fly.
Is Otis a heel? Are we 100% that Otis is heel here?
Yeah, we're 100%. Anybody who does an extra splash on Rey Mysterio is a heel.
Like, I guess you're right.
That's a heel move. Like, that's on par with shoving Miss Elizabeth. Like,
because maybe he's just not that smart, and he's under the influence of a bad guy.
Sure, I mean, like, as a narrative device, yeah, he could be. Ultimately, that's what it is. But I'd like a nice heel run on Otis. Like, I'd like to see him bang up against Big E. That could be fun.
I'd like to see some resolution.
I think we haven't seen it in its full yet. I think that was the start of his heel turn, and I think something else is gonna come that'll be a little bit more.
But clear. I saw more potential in it than I thought I would. You know.
So yeah, my full disclosure is that that was the only thing that was spoiled to me about SmackDown. Somehow I saw some news story like Otis turns heel. Attacks Rey Mysterio or something. So I knew going into this match, oh shit, Otis is gonna turn heel. And then at some point I answered a text or something, and then I was like, I looked up and I was like, oh god, I think it's happening. That was kind of underwhelming. I was like, oh wait, is this the heel turn? And maybe it's because I was distracted for a moment, but it did seem like it wasn't. Again, it's the slow burn. It wasn't like I took Rey Mysterio's eye out. It was like I gave him an extra splash, and it seems like he's definitely under the influence of his alpha teammate. I don't know if I love these dudes together, but
you don't. No one does.
Maybe. I mean, I think there's potential there. I heard somebody mentioned. I don't remember who, that there's potential for them to be like Chris Farley and David Spade of WWE.
But Chad's not funny.
He's kind of funny.
He's kind of funny. They have a funny dynamic.
Yeah.
They could be funny. They could be funny. They're not funny yet. They could be.
They could, I will give you the possibility that they could be funny. I think at this point, I don't really know why they're working together. I was watching Chad this week and I was like, man, I really hope at some point he gets something that works. And I don't know that this is it.
Can I? You know what kind of I think of it as, and it actually helped me a lot, and it just kind of popped in my head. Think less about Chad as a replacement for Tucker and more about Otis as a replacement for Jason Jordan.
I heard Jason Jordan was making his way back, though.
Keep hearing that.
I will.
You keep on hearing that.
Here's the thing. I don't think I'm not looking at Chad as the replacement of Tucky. I'm looking at Chad as like Otis's new semi-manager.
Sure, but like manager who can wrestle in a great tag team too. Like he's an all-purpose. Like I think it kind of works, you know.
Chad Gable's like maybe the best wrestler on the roster.
Yeah,
like this dude's an insanely good wrestler.
You know, he can, and he's a fantastic tag team wrestler, as evidenced by his American Alpha,
no doubt.
Stint. So like this could actually work really, really well. You know,
I'm here for it.
Given some time and some good storylines.
Yeah, something new.
I think the size difference fucks with me, honestly.
What'd you say?
I think the size difference kind of fucks with me.
I'm okay with
Yokozuna and Owen Hart.
Owen Hart. That's a good parallel.
Tag team champions.
That is good.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, there was reasons for that if you watched the Yokozuna documentary, but we won't get into that.
We'll get into that. But what I do want to get into is Roman Reigns doing his Jorge Masvidal hands behind the back. You know, two-piece in a soda. That dude is cool.
That was some good writing.
Roman Reigns is really good.
Yeah,
this dude's gonna be a movie star.
Jay leveled Sammy.
Sammy's still down.
Roman didn't even take his eyes off of Edge, bro. Yeah. He's just so freaking cool. He's so unbothered. Mm-hmm. Like, oh my gosh. And then I was like, what great writing, because I was like, what did Roman say? Mm-hmm. I want to know. I need to know.
Yes, that's your lost in translation moment there. Bill Murray and Scarlett Johansson will never.
And Edge gave us nothing.
No.
no indication of what Roman.
Good acting from everybody in this segment.
Oh my god,
Yes,
bro.
very good.
I want to give accolades to Sami Zayn. There's not many better a promo in the WWE.
So good.
And he didn't. He was an annoying fly. I was just like, he's not getting a look from either of these dudes. He doesn't exist. Jey Uso had to eliminate him from the equation.
Yes.
Even I, as the viewer, was like, what is he doing out here? What? You are not on this level as much as I love you more than maybe anybody in the ring. Why are you
Hell of
here?
a super kick too. That was a hell of a super
Good
kick.
shit.
Man.
Good shit.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that whole,
I kind
that
of
whole
hope
segment.
that there is some actual content that comes from these videographers following Sammy. I kind of hope there's like a little bit of content.
Yeah, that'll
Maybe.
be some footage that we get sometime.
I'd like them to put the documentary on the network.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Came
Could
into
you
a big
imagine
mess
one
at
that's
the
like
end.
full of
Oh,
satire?
sorry.
I said, could you imagine if they did come out with one on WWE Network that was just full of satire by Sami Zayn?
That'd
If
be
they
funny.
if they don't, it's a huge missed opportunity.
I think so.
Truly. What were you saying, JP?
I think I love how it turned into a big mess of. I love those pre-big multi-man match finisher offs to end shows.
Oh hell yeah!
I love all of those. Roman shows you. Let me show you how to do a spear edge instead of that run.
Yeah, that was a
stomach.
weak spear.
Edge's spears have always been weak. That's the dirty
I mean,
truth.
the camera angle was doing him no favors.
None. He reached out and just like touch somebody's
Yeah.
hip.
It's like a one-armed hip hug.
Yeah, that was terrible. Roman's
Yeah,
like, let me
then-
show you how you do
Imagine
this
y'all
spear.
like shitting on Edge's spear, but like not shitting on that go to sleep 2 weeks ago.
The go to sleep was fire.
But Go to Sleep was incredible.
Did you go back and look
Yeah,
at
they
it?
showed it
Yeah.
again. They showed it again. My favorite part of that Go to Sleep was when Moxley put his hand here and took it on his elbow without bending over and just kind of tapped it without ever bending over at all, just standing fully up and being sat down and just went down like he was made of wood. Like, brother, you gotta.
Oh, my nipples.
No, it was bad.
My nipples.
It was bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mox didn't take that
I gotta
shit
name
off.
mine.
He wasn't feeling it. He was
Gotta
like,
name mine.
"What's this move again? How do I? Well, we're here."
I don't want to believe it or admit it
He said we're here.
because the moment was so big. I didn't want to acknowledge the
I know.
but it's there. It's there.
It's bad. It's
Thank
bad.
you. That's all I want.
So you won't.
My nipples.
And you know what time it is? Because you brought up it, it's time for the Impact Minute. Get your
Oh
shit
shit!
together, baby.
Stand
it's
back!
time, baby.
Stand back! There's a hurricane coming through.
Yeah, baby. The Impact
Alright,
Minute
which
coming
way?
in.
You getting 30 or you getting 30 or?
Give me what you got.
Give me 60 seconds.
All
Fuck
right,
it.
we can 60 seconds. All right, 60 seconds. Here we go. 3, 2, 1.
Bang, bang. Here it goes. It's the Impact Minute coming. Bow, bow in your mouth. Impact was coming live today. TJP had a great match against Josh Alexander. Those guys work together like marshmallow fluff and titties. I always want to see those together. Trey Miguel is the most intense motherfucker I've ever seen in the world. He won a great 4-way with Sammy against a bunch of other people I can't remember right now. Sammy Hallahan was all in his ear talking all that good shit. He was talking all that ish right there. It was kind of homoerotic, but it was great. I love that shit. All right, now Jordan Grace was not there, so a moment of
30
silence
seconds.
because there was no thickness in effect. No thickness because of Jordan Grace. She wasn't there today. Finn Juice is in the house. CJ Parker is back, baby. He got his gimmick stolen by Daniel Bryan, but he's back now. I love to see his story. He's gonna have a match against the Impact Brothers, against the
15
Good Brothers.
seconds.
Man, it's gonna be a cold ass match. Talking about you used to be the young boys. Well, you the young boys now. I'm coming to take your titles. And Moose is a star after beating the dog shit out of Tommy Dreamer. We out.
Wow.
Oh, with
What a
extra
minute.
5 seconds to spare. We're taking that off your clock.
You beat the clock. You
beat
have
the
5
clock.
seconds to spare.
What does that say, Impact? What does that say?
I couldn't
He
say
didn't-
more.
he
I
beat the
was
clock.
trying to do something. Don't tell him what I had 5 seconds later.
You should have given him. You
Shoulda given me.
You should have given the lack of thickness a bigger moment of silence.
I should have. I was really sad about that lack of thickness.
Yes, and you mentioned C.J. Parker, but not Juice Robinson.
No, I did.
I guess you did.
Finn Juice. He's back. He's still Juice Robinson.
Well, he's the juice. Yeah,
Yeah. Then the juice is loose.
the juice is loose.
Hey, before we leave SmackDown, is Reginald's accent correct? Like, is it real?
No, he grew up as a gang banger in St. Louis, Missouri.
He's from St. Louis.
He is.
He part of the St.
Oh,
Lunatics?
shit.
He's from St. Louis. He wasn't in
from
the
St. Louis.
Lunatics. Yeah, I think he was in
I'm
an
from
actual
Lou,
gang.
And I'm proud.
Murphy Lee, I don't know if he was like a
hate
real, if he was like OG. But
Marvin Gaye, hip hop.
So he's not French.
No St. Louis rapper slander will be had on the 4th.
Wait, we can't talk about what?
No St. Louis rapper slander will be had.
St. Louis ain't hip hop, shorty. We hopped it was hip.
Bro,
I'm a lunatic with too much grip to let it slip. I'm so St. Louis, ask my tattooist. I'm like the water boy, now they tell me you can do it.
Let's go. We had our good 3 to 5 years.
It was a good time.
That was a good year. Those were good years.
Yeah, but Reginald, I'm sure, is a huge St. Lunatics fan and all the rest of St. Louis hip hop. But he's not European. No, he's playing a character. I mean, he's playing it pretty well because we didn't know if the accent was legit or not. But yeah, he's. I did a little research on him because I was very curious after Friday night. His background is Cirque du Soleil. He's a circus performer.
All right.
Oh, okay. His flips in the ring are fucking dope.
Of course,
Corey Graves like put that shit down this week for no reason. He was like, I don't know what that flip in the ring was for, but it showed his athleticism. I'm like,
yeah,
it's dope.
Yeah,
Just
so why do your job, Corey? Like,
don't be JR.
Yeah. What?
Also, that's Carmella's guy. Like, you're supposed to be for Carmella.
Maybe he mad because she's cheating. He cheating on her.
Well, I think the story is that Reginald we're supposed to believe that he's like stepping out on Carmella because he's more into Sasha.
Right. Oof.
And Sasha's pissed at him for that, and maybe Corey's on to him. Like you're not. You should be getting wine for my girlfriend right now, not wrestling in this match.
That's a fair point. If that was what that was, then I'll take it.
But
it'd be nice to say it was.
Yeah.
People need to stop disrespecting Bailey's door, though.
They really do.
Or they're gonna catch these hands.
Use the door.
Use the door.
Like if you're gonna come on the show, could you at least use the door?
He's so bad about that door. It's great.
And Reginald just straight up ignored. He just no-sold the request. I was like, come on, bro, just like flip through the door. He could have made a cool entrance out of that.
Seriously, bro.
Like, hold on 1 second, and then did like a sweet flip somersault through the thing. That would have been great. But I'm not a writer for WWE.
And he pinned Nia Jax.
He pinned Nia Jax. Looked like it. It looked like she kicked out, but she didn't.
It's a little late. Too late.
Wow.
I don't want to talk about it in depth, but I just want to mention Seth Rollins' suit game.
The suit game.
Yes,
Seth Rollins' suit game.
That's all there is to say about that character.
I love that Embrace Division sounds like Embrace Division. And I know that's like a high thought.
That might be the stoner thought of the fucking week, dude.
I like it.
Embrace the vision.
You know what I mean?
Sounds like embrace.
Open your third eye, my God. Don't embrace the vision. Embrace the vision.
Oh, dude.
It all makes sense, man.
Dude, we have to be the only 3 people who've thought of that shit, man.
Hey, that's my mind blowing.
That's why people tune in.
Exploding.
That is the high-minded pro wrestling opinion.
I was more into Seth Rollins this week.
Really?
I think he is a little bit of the same, but changing just a little bit, and it's a good change.
It's kind of like
it's a good change of the character.
It's less religious and more politician, I think.
Exactly, and that's what I'm saying about the Embrace Division. I think it's very political.
Okay. Now you guys help me on that.
Mm-hmm. I didn't go that far with it, but I picked up on that little bit of subtlety. But I love it even better with what you just said.
I was just so turned off that it wasn't like a big change, and then the music came back, but it didn't fit. That I didn't give it a fair shake probably this week. But yeah, framing it that way, he's kind of giving me the vibe of like the dude. I don't know if you guys watched The Handmaid's Tale, but like the guy who's like the main villain in that show. And of course, I'm too high to think of his name now. Fines. He's a Fines guy.
Imagine.
Yeah, he's like a weird religious dude, but a politician as well. I'm getting the vibe. It's a subtle change, and again, Seth Rollins is a guy I'm a huge fan of, so I'll give him the benny of the doubt on this one as well. Give it some time to pan out.
I think the music change works better too because this is a little bit more of like a radical type character, more as like at first he was like this, Messiah Jesus, which was very like laid back villain. But this seems like it's going to be a little bit more like.
Stay tuned because I think he's changing it again.
Burn It Down makes sense to come.
He's hinted that he's going to change it again. That there's going to be new music very soon.
I'm down.
There you go.
I'm down.
If you change the character, change the music. Why not?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Get Tamina off my TV. That's all I gotta say.
Wow, dude.
All right. Should we move on to NXT?
Nobody's Mina.
Let's do it.
Okay. This is actually a question I had, because if you look at them from a ways back, they're both virtually the same story. Sheamus and Drew, and Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly mainly, but UE.
Yes.
You know,
interesting.
UE as represented by Kyle O'Reilly. So yeah, what one of these is working very much for me as I sit here in my UE shirt, and one of these is not working for me. What is the difference? If you explain it to me like I'm high.
Well,
you know, it's interesting you say that, because I do think one is obviously working better, and I think part of it is that something you pointed out I think 2 weeks ago or 2 episodes ago was that it didn't make sense when Sheamus decided to turn. Like, there was just no inkling of it that night that he wanted to turn for that belt. So like the intrigue just never made any sense. But I actually have been kind of comparing this one to Inner Circle as well as with the main roster. So it's like we got kind of a 3-way breaking up of like factions. I guess you would say Drew and Sheamus are kind of like their own faction. They were their own faction as like a friendship. At least that's what they're selling to us. But the reason why WWE's isn't working with Drew and Sheamus is that we just haven't seen their friendship like that consistent. He had so much screen time with Cesaro most recently, I think, than ever being around Drew, you know? So it just all seems out of the blue.
That's exactly right. I mean, the Undisputed Era, the Inner Circle, these things have been long-term storylines. These have been... Nobody questioned the friendship of Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly, even though there's never been this slow build story of like Adam and Kyle. I mean, the era is the era, but Adam and Kyle are the friends. Like that's never been established, but we just totally buy it because that's what they've the burn that they've given with Kyle branching off and having this great thing with Finn, and now like who's the real leader of the era. I think they could have leaned into that a bit more. But they didn't have to, and it still paid off, and we're still into the story. Same thing
it's
with
not to say the UE build's been perfect, but yeah,
exactly,
correct.
But we're more invested, just like we are in the Inner Circle, especially because Chris Jericho and Sammy were a little unit. You know, they were like they did their little like entrance together, and now it's like right. MJF came in and became the new dude. So I get that too. And but Sheamus and Drew, but that's just seems like it's been shoved down our throat. And even though we don't really have any evidence or proof to back it up, we're just supposed to believe like, oh no, these dudes have been best friends for a long time, years back, dude. Because they're both, you know, like United Kingdom. So. You know, Drew used to work here, so like they're best friends, best friends. Just believe it, and then over the next several weeks, we will just kind of fly by the seat of our pants and not really tell a story, and then that's exactly why we don't care about this. It's
And to something you were saying, Ariam, and mixing in the AEW stuff, but like, is you compared it to the Inner Circle kind of splintering. Is the UE breaking up resonating in a similar vein to that? Or I said that backwards. Is the Inner Circle splintering resonating in a similar vein to the UE breakup, or is it closer to what happening with Sheamus? Do you really feel that one?
I think it's resonating closer to the UE breakup. More than it is Drew and Sheamus, because it does make sense. And honestly, my only problem with the Inner Circle one is I think I kind of highlighted last week that like Sammy Guevara is trying to act with Chris Jericho and MJF, just like two amazing actors. Whereas Sammy Guevara for me is just like he's still learning how to like do these type of like scenes.
He's young.
So yeah, but that's the only thing that I'm like have even against it. Like the programs. Those two programs are excellent. WWE just Raw doesn't have the time to like Or I guess they do.
They
have
got
the time
they got the time.
They do 3 hours on Raw.
They have 3 hours, but making a show every week, they're so pressed for time.
They don't
to
plan it far enough
write
ahead.
out good stories. Exactly.
Yeah.
They got. I mean, they could have been just doing
great.
vignette and scene after scene. Even show them out at a bar, drinking together, like a couple of weeks in a row, like establishing this like friendship where they're talking about memories from years back. I know they showed them playing video games one time. Maybe that wasn't even on TV. Maybe that was on social media. But and like have Drew get up at one point. I gotta go take a piss, and then just Sheamus just like stares longingly at the belt that he leaves behind. And and then just the scene's over, and it's just like you're planting little seeds, and you had enough time over the last couple of months even to be doing this, and they'd probably defend themselves and say that's exactly what we've done, but it hasn't been effective in my opinion.
You know what would have been great? I know it's like a total different time period, but if they had like a relationship on TV, kind of like the APA for a while. Like
that would have been fun. If they'd ever been a tag team on WWE TV.
Yeah,
why not?
Exactly, and that would be a huge payoff if, like, not this year, but next year, we got to Drew and Sheamus going head on head. But they've been a tag team for a whole year, working together, kicking people's asses. Like, that would be interesting.
No, but the whole time that Drew and Sheamus and Keith Lee to some degree as well have been involved in this whatever storyline, the whole gag has been like, we're gonna be friends one second, but then we're beating each other up the next second, and then we're friends, and then we're beating each other up. It's like then we're never gonna care anymore. It's like you make it so that we think that these guys are fucking friends, ride or die, and then all of a sudden, when Sheamus kicks his head off, we're like, oh my god, it's Shawn and Marty Jannetty, like, but it's Ciampa and Gargano, but they didn't even try.
Yeah,
they just skipped steps.
I guess that's just that's the long story short. They just tried to microwave a very emotional story.
Yes,
all the ingredients may have been there, but there weren't enough of them. They didn't.
This needed the slow cooker, and they tried to just zap it in the microwave. And we're not eating that shit. We know what a fucking steak tastes like, and we don't want this hungry man dinner.
Steak on the other channel, so you can't do that.
Yeah.
On one of your channels.
True.
Yeah, sometimes the steak is like medium well, and I ordered it medium rare, but it's still a fucking steak, you know.
Yep.
Come on, you're a meat man, Ariam.
I love it. Oh, you know I am. You know it.
But yeah, lots of good
Pat
shit.
McAfee is back.
We might have to AKA you meat. I know we've had that gimmick in wrestling before.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Sean Stasiak over here.
Yep. What'd you say, my man? Who's back?
I said Pat McAfee is back.
Back. Just nice to hear from him.
Cut a little promo from the private jet.
Because I think somebody, or maybe these were just rumors on the dirt sheets that were saying that there might have been heat between Pat McAfee and the WWE.
I think that was some bullshit.
Yeah, it sounds like it, and I'm glad to hear it, man, because I really enjoyed seeing him around.
Kayfabe, baby.
Good shit. Karrion Kross and Escobar. Are you disappointed that you didn't get to see that match?
See, I was disappointed at first because I'm very curious to see these guys square up. But then when I saw the promo that Scarlett and specifically Karrion Kross cut, as Scarlett was like, I fucking this dude as he's talking. I mean, there's just something so. It gave me a huge wrestle boner. And I don't get those too often. Like, I pop a lot, but not wrestle boners. And I was just writhing around like, oh, man, that's good. Oh, that's good. There's something about Karrion Kross and Scarlett that's so classic, but at the same time, and so pro wrestling, but at the same time, so like not pro wrestling. Like, this guy's a real killer. Then like the combination of those things, I'm not, I think, eloquating this the way I want to because I'm a bowl in. But it was that was the highlight of my NXT viewing this week. That's how much I loved that promo. It was a visceral reaction that I had to it. I can't explain it any other way.
Oh, wow.
I love it. I love those two.
I thought it was great. I mean,
he needs to be the world champion like within a year. Karrion Kross.
He's not going to the main roster that soon.
I think he needs to be the world champion within a year, like next
He
WrestleMania.
has to take the belt off of Finn. He
doesn't have to.
I don't think he does.
Who else is going to?
Somebody else.
Bronson Reed?
No, not Bronson Reed.
Could be Bronson
Probably
Reed.
Adam Cole. It's probably going to be Adam Cole that takes it off of him.
Yeah, just to prove that like Adam Cole does not need to go to the main roster. He can win the NXT title again.
Yeah, it's probably going to be Adam Cole that takes us off of him. Finn's going to go up to the roster just as a big star again. Karrion Kross will go up as like a young big star, and probably I'd like to see him snatch the belt off of an unsuspecting like Matthew Riddle, who never stood a chance. You know, something.
God,
like
that would be a good match too.
Yeah, like after finally overcoming Bobby Lashley at Mania to get up to by Karrion Kross. Like, I think that'd be fun.
I think, Karrion Kross has the potential to be like the next like Goldberg-esque type, like who's next? Mm-hmm. I'm rolling through motherfuckers. This guy's been undefeated for a long time kind of thing. Like, that's the kind of rocket power this guy has, especially with Scarlett.
Y'all got a lot of faith in him.
I do indeed.
I think that's the way his character is designed. There are very few characters designed that way, and when you have a character designed that way, you got to go with it. Otherwise, you end up with a Braun Strowman situation where you have to come up with excuses for him not to be the champion for like 2.5 years.
But Karrion can talk way better than any of these other people. He's a great promo, and he doesn't even have to talk because he's got Scarlett. It's just that much better. It's just that much. It elevates him that much more.
And one of my favorite things to talk
we'll see
about,
what Vince
he's
does.
35. Let's go.
That's why I'm saying give it to him within the year because he's that good.
And there's no need to retread. We've seen him with the belt. Like I know that we missed the wrong reign, but like just we've seen it. Just
Karrion
always
Kross,
forward.
Austin Theory, Mania, Hollywood. Or if not Austin Theory, Kona Reeves, the finest.
I hate it. I hate it all. I hate it all. I hate it all.
I'm gonna work him in every week.
Moving on.
Austin Theory.
We did have Austin Theory on the show. He's back.
He's back.
He was kidnapped and he was found, I guess, in a sketchy van parked outside the building. And then Johnny G went out there, found him, zip tied.
Yeah, it wasn't well executed.
He had a bag over his
It
head.
wasn't well executed.
Oh, that was
Whatever. I love the way. It's very funny. This wasn't great, but
There were just holes. There were just holes in it.
yeah,
Like,
it wasn't great.
so the car arrived and someone was driving it, but we don't know who was driving it.
I think we know.
Nothing happened. I know, but it's just like it was just.
We have to believe that what's his name, the serial killer,
Loomis.
Dexter Loomis. We have to believe that he's got a plan here. He was, Austin was released for a reason, and maybe he's changed. Maybe he's Austin Theory has
not
now
the
been
Fiend.
turned. It's not been. Oh yeah, I guess that story is being told elsewhere in the company. Once you're kidnapped by Dexter Loomis, you're never the same again. I like to
Lose
think
your
that
nipples. Lamont, no.
maybe he turned him. Maybe he turned Austin Theory, and now he's gonna work from the inside. We'll see.
Maybe.
I don't know. I don't fucking know.
The MSK, the Dusty Cup presentations was a lot of fun.
Yeah, the popcorn.
That was really
funny.
A lot of fun for
Funny.
all people.
Evidently, Shayna Baszler and Dakota Kai are dating. Did you guys know that?
Shayna
What?
Baszler and Dakota Kai are dating?
You saying you have no
Evidently, this
canaries?
was because I don't know that it's confirmed,
Okay,
but
well, wait till we
evidently it's
confirm
supposed
it.
to be common knowledge on Twitter.
Didn't know that.
That they're dating.
That would be interesting. That would make the whole dynamic a lot more interesting.
It would make this whole match to come possibly really.
No, I just mean like their whole history would have been is funny.
I know,
if they've
right?
been dating or started dating or at any point where became a couple. Their whole dynamic it recontextualizes it in a really fun way.
Because I popped
Yes.
when that relationship was rehashed in the ring
Yeah.
on NXT. I was like, oh yeah, because I was picking Dakota Kai to be the one to finally vanquish Shayna
take it off
Baszler
of
when
her.
she was in NXT. I
Me
was
too.
like,
I couldn't believe they didn't.
I
do
still like that story to be told, and Dakota Kai is a fun heel right now, but I think she's a natural good girl too, good guy too. I don't like to say good girl. That sounds
Hey.
bad. You can say good guy, but
Yeah.
it sounds weird to say.
Under the right context,
And I don't always like to say babyface because it's an industry term. I'm not in the industry, so I like to say good guy, bad guy, but whatever.
I enjoyed it. MSK was great on the popcorn.
Mm-hmm.
When she
I
laid,
loved
after the whole line, like when my man lays dead on the floor.
Oh my
So
gosh.
good.
They are so entertaining.
And Raquel, she's good on the stick too.
Yeah, good shit.
Yeah, I mean she.
bro, and they will not let Nia go.
No.
I think it's great.
Y'all have to
I did-
watch Raw Talk from last week. R-Truth had this like donut hole, and like Nia Jax almost walked off the show. Like they were.
It's good shit. I
hammering
did
her
see
with
some of
these
that
whole
on
shows.
Twitter. I did like on SmackDown too. And she hit with that falling leg raise, and whoever moved out of the way, and Corey probably said that must have been horrible on her tailbone.
Yeah, I heard that.
That was good. That was good.
This is her terrible.
He had it. He had the chance, and he didn't take the bait. I liked it.
Good shit.
So good.
AEW?
Yeah, I mean, did we talk about Undisputed Era?
We talked about it.
We did it. Yeah. So it didn't really progress that story much, but it's slow burning. Let's move over to the other Wednesday
cook that
show.
one up.
Yeah, it could be good.
Sting took a bump.
He took a bump.
Sting's back all over the ground.
He took a big bump.
He took a bump.
Brian Cage power bombed this man.
And he didn't guard his neck at all.
No.
He just took it.
And he, I don't know if they
gasped.
anticipated the meme-worthiness of the above the the aerial shot of Sting on his back in the middle of the ring, looking like
I'm getting too old for this here.
I think I want to put over the Smacked Raw, or maybe it was even Kevin Crazy specifically who tagged us in something on Twitter where they were like, it's like you need to get this man some Nationwide because life's coming at him fast. And that was pretty right on. I mean, the look on his face is just like, oh shit, I forgot.
It ain't all just walking around in the snow.
Somebody else had put a meme of like pasting Sting on his back into a photograph of Bobby Lashley and Lana post sex in the bed.
Oh my god! Just so
And
bogus.
Sting's like this, and then Conor McGregor's knocked out underneath him. So it's already spawned some really good quality internet shit.
That's good shit.
But it was I was glad to see something happen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
he's getting physical. He's in there.
Ugh.
Yeah, that was fun. I just gasped when he.
Yeah. I think that's how he's supposed to feel.
Right?
How's the melodrama doing with your boy Hangman Page?
Hangman. Well, clearly
Wrestling's favorite melodrama.
I love it. Big Money Matt Hardy, not the best actor this week.
I actually thought this was one of his better
Yeah, I
ones.
liked it.
And actually, one of the things that make this so interesting to me is one of the things I think either of you were talking about recently about stakes matches, like the ring match, or just like it doesn't always have to be about a belt, but if it's like, oh, I have this much money, like,
The money match, dog.
you want this much money?
That
like it made it something like I was just like, this is how AEW does a little bit better than WWE.
I did pop for that.
Is by making something
Yes.
mean.
You're 100% right, Ariam.
I loved it.
It's the stakes that they put on it, and it's not as goofy as like a hair match or something like that. But talking about the earnings from the first quarter, and you put up your earnings from the first. Do we have ourselves a money match? Like I absolutely popped, and I forgot until just now that I loved that moment, and and it was a cool way to do that match. Even though
Dark Order really wants Hangman.
Huh?
what'd you say?
Dark Order really wants
I
Hangman.
love
they
that
do.
too.
They
Beautiful.
really want
Everything about that save was heartwarming.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so good.
Just that big old baby face, pearly white smile from Hangman. Just like they love each other.
Just
They
join
really
the Dark
do.
Order.
And the Dark
Please.
Order left, kind of giving him the point, like we were here for you.
Yeah.
We won't say any more. And I'm just like, it's
Weird.
it's so effective.
So good.
I just know now above anything that Shaq and Jade are ready. They're gonna like double team them. They're gonna like take them into the post and do a couple like swing kicks. Shaq gonna take it from the outside. Shoot
For
some
this big
threes.
for this big basketball match on Wednesday night.
Yep, they gonna like. But man, like The mid-range game
Why
on
were they
Jade.
training for basketball?
I have no
Why were
idea.
they training
No
for-
Well, it
fucking
is a
idea.
fusion. I mean, 3 points count. 3-pointers count. There are no fouls, obviously, because there's wrestling. But the pinfall has to come after one team spells horse. I think
This
is
is
the rule.
likened to when those segments on Raw when Street Profits and the Viking Experience or whatever the fuck they were called were having like bowling matches.
That shit was
and
great.
basketball
I loved
games.
that.
Yeah.
I loved all of that competition stuff between the Prophets and the Viking Raiders or War Machine or whatever. That was
It was
great.
great.
Did
It was
you?
great for the Profits. It wasn't so great for the Viking.
Oh.
Viking
Yeah,
Raiders.
I'll give you
I
that.
thought
I'll
it
give
was
you that.
dumb. It's like, why are they doing
Well, I think
this? Wrestle.
It showed that they were funny, and it
I
was
thought
giving us
this
some.
was pretty random in a way, but I did not enjoy it. You know,
I was entertained by
I'll
those.
remember it forever. Just Shaq looking at her shooting from the post.
Oh no, the AEW. Yeah, that didn't make any sense at all.
It
Why
made
are
no
they?
sense, but I had a good
Why
time.
are they
with it, like,
training?
whatever.
Why are they playing basketball? I'm
Why the
confused.
fuck not? Because Shaq plays ball. Look at that outside shot from the big Shaquille O'Neal.
Shouldn't
Exactly.
shouldn't Jade be teaching
Why is
Shaq
Street
how to
Profits
wrestle?
playing basketball?
Like, no, they ready to take Red Velvet into the post. Like, that's barbecue chicken. Red Velvet has no interior defense. Like, she ain't gonna be able to handle him once
You're
he
right.
hits the once he hits the block. It's over for him. Dunks all day. 1, 2, 3. That's how they win the wrestling match. World
Okay.
champions.
In one black tornado.
One black tornado. I hate it.
That's Shaq's finisher. If you didn't know.
They're taking him to school, baby.
Well, I mean, I'm gonna be tuning in.
Yeah.
I don't have high expectations.
Neither do I. Did you like Pride and Glory versus Young Bucks for the tag team titles?
I did.
Just good shit.
I mean, the main events usually always deliver, and this was no exception on AEW.
It was fine. Fine wrestling.
Yeah.
happening.
Yeah, I liked it.
Very fine.
It kind of came out of nowhere.
In
Like they
the
just
best
kind
of
of
ways.
challenged Pride and Glory to a match the week before.
It's crazy they haven't had a tag title opportunity
Yeah.
on AEW yet. That was alarming to me.
And they just kind of felt like fixing that.
Yeah.
And the match felt good considering there wasn't a big story behind it. They just had some fun. You know.
I liked the main event. Yeah, I did. What about
But that
the
was the main event.
Serena
That
Rio.
was,
So
Serena Rio had a great match.
That wasn't the main event.
no, that was just midway through.
That's right. It felt like it was.
Yeah, see, there you go. But yeah, Rio's back. Rio's in the back, fighting Serena Deeb, getting the win over her.
I forgot how much I liked Rio's theme song.
I was surprised she won.
I
too.
like it.
Did you watch the Japanese side of the tournament?
No, is that on Dark?
No, it's on
YouTube.
It's on YouTube.
I've just seen highlights and
Oh, okay.
clips.
I kind of hate it. I kind of hate that they're not showing any of it.
You should watch it, but there's a reason why they shouldn't put that on TV.
Interesting. Okay.
It was super Joshi style. You know what I mean? In a way that like I wouldn't want to put commercial breaks and have people advertisers pay money.
Interesting.
Interesting. I'm gonna check that
Watch
out.
it. Watch it. It's interesting stuff. Whole new way of storytelling, and I enjoyed it, but like I wouldn't risk it on network TV either if I had money. So
Interesting.
yeah,
Okay.
I would save that for the people who like come out of that. 4 matches in a row of them on TV would have been a lot.
Get that.
But yeah, this episode was weird for me, man, because there were just some things that were like obviously upsetting me, and one of them
Uh-oh.
being Kenny Omega at this school,
Uh-oh.
like with half of the kids wearing masks.
Oh,
Kenny Omega not wearing a mask.
CDC showing up here.
It was just very. It was very Florida. It was very boomer wrestling promotion in Florida, and I was just like, I'm not digging.
JB Bad, am I sensing that you're seeing some snowflakery coming from the Canaries right now?
I will, mostly because I think Eric could beat me up if it really came down to it. I would be careful with those words, but like, yeah, I mean it's Florida. I didn't think about that until you had said anything about it, and I was really enjoying that segment.
I enjoyed this segment at the end of the
It's
day,
just
but
interesting for a company that like I think a lot of us like to think of them as the more progressive company. You know, they have the first like openly trans wrestler, and then you have a gender reveal. You know, like
that was horrible.
It's things aren't matching up.
Dude, Cody
with
Rhodes
their,
is
like,
booking
ideology.
this program, right? And this You're a wrestling character. Do we really care that much about like the?
No,
I wish you
no one cares about
wish you the
Randy.
best, my friend. Like, but I don't. I don't really care about the gender of your baby. At least on my wrestling program. Not to
I
the
don't know. Like my wife likes things like that, and
turn it into
you know,
an angle or something.
I get that it is congruent. It is incongruent with since you have a trans wrestler now, and that gender is a construct. No, I got you on those points. Like, but like trying to put on a show, you're just trying to do something nice. Like
it lasted 15 seconds. I'm not going to complain. At the end of the day, they didn't make a 15-minute thing out of it. It was literally a 30-second like. It's a girl, explosions, fireworks, and then Cody went and did commentary for a match. So it was a little like
I hear y'all, and I guess I try not to be so hard on them all the time, and I give them a lot of grace, especially in comparison to how I do about WWE and SmackDown shit. But I think that they are not. It's not that I can't say bad things about them. Like if they do things that I think are unbecoming of them, of like what I think that they could be and what I think that they're saying they are, then I'm gonna call them out on it.
Right.
Yeah, we don't have a problem doing that.
I guess you're allowed to. That's why we're here.
Yeah, I mean, we talk about that all the time. The commentary is lacking. I like Excalibur, okay, but he's not enough to make me forget about how much I dislike the other two dudes for the most part. It's just another part of the commentary is a big part of a wrestling television show. A big part.
I just thought Cody was trying to bring something wholesome to TV for 30 seconds of his.
Yeah, now that we've talked about that,
That's
we've
fair.
talked about it too
That's
much.
fair.
I don't give a shit. I mean, at the time, I was like, "What are we doing here, man?" Because I know Cody's booking this, so he must think that people care so much, But that's a bitchy thing to think. Like, I don't really care. If he would have made it a whole ass segment, whatever. But it was 30 seconds. Let him put his gender reveal on his TV show. I'd probably do the same thing if I was running the show. Whatever.
But did you enjoy the final main event, the actual main event? I love everything that comes out of Eddie Kingston's mouth. Like the way he talked about Jon Moxley. Like, my old friend, you're the devil I can't get rid of with women, pills, drinking. I'm getting the wrong order, but what a promo.
Amazing.
What a fucking promo.
He's a good heel, man. He has me actually hating him right now, bro.
I can't hate him. That's the thing is, I always kind of want him. I'll always kind of want him to get one over on Jon Moxley.
Yeah, because he's that everyman kind of blue collar dude who like you kind of want him to rise above in a way. It's hard to totally write him off because there's that like, everyman like wanting him to succeed quality about it.
Like he doesn't have the ability, or even he doesn't even deserve it, but he wants it so badly. I kind of want him to have it.
He got wrecked.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, but like even the way he did it, that
Eddie,
last little pathetic spinning back fist with every bit of spite he had left, like I loved it. You know what I mean? Like it was like Captain Ahab, with my last breath I spit at you.
My God, the Moby Dick reference on the 420 wrestling hour.
We getting that's how I mind
This actually brought the episode around for me. Like it really made everything a lot better. I'm finally starting to get into Lance Archer, and I'm like kicking myself. I'm like,
I've been into Lance Archer.
Yeah, he's good.
I'm like, what have I been missing about this dude? This dude's a fucking superstar.
I had a dream about Lance Archer one time not too long ago, and it was a couple months ago. But when I woke up, I was like, wow. It was like a nightmare dream about Lance Archer like wreaking havoc on like my loved ones and shit, and I was like, I think Lance Archer's the real deal. And now I don't even mind him being a good guy. I like it.
Yo, one thing I have to say though, I'm really excited about this rematch, but I think me and Renee Young have like the same reaction probably to it, because she hates when John is in these death matches, and I just hate death matches. So like there were a lot of gifs and memes going around about her reaction probably to the death match, and I was probably spot on with her. Like I don't like to see people bleed and get hurt and fucked up. Like, ugh.
I like to see it a little bit.
If as long as you make it count, as long as you don't do it too often.
Yep.
I'm down with it. Like, this is the end of the feud. This is the end.
You don't go anywhere from here. I know in WWE we can burn a man alive and then we still have not blown this feud off. But
yeah,
We're
this
This has got to be it.
You know, like,
Exploding barbed wire. We'll be done.
And one thing I've kind of a very subtle thing I've enjoyed about, we harp on their commentary, but they've actually done a weird thing that I've enjoyed of framing the company still slightly around Jon Moxley, like he ought to still be champion.
Yeah, because it was stolen from him.
Right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They didn't just run. Yeah, they didn't just run and like start telling the story of Kenny Omega being champion,
Right?
And Jon Moxley essentially just falls off the cliff, is relegated to challenger. It was
Mid-cards
like it's all still about Jon Moxley.
Exactly right.
Until we're finished with this.
It's like they're going almost as far as to say he's the legitimate champion.
Yes, they're just
but they're not saying it explicitly.
They're not saying it, and the way that they talk about him and here he comes. They don't talk about Kenny like that.
Yes,
like, the main draw is still Jon Moxley because he ought to be champion.
Exactly,
and I think that helps. And I think that is something, if they're really on it, will fall away after this next coming match.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's
interesting.
Where I think this goes.
So we'll see. I mean, so this is leading up to Revolution, which of course is a pay-per-view, so it's not on TV.
Mm.
But I think they're moving to Sundays.
The pay-per-views?
Yeah. Or at least, I don't know. I know they had a hard time like scheduling this one with like some changing dates, I think with WWE, with WrestleMania and shit. But evidently it's moving to Sundays for pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So that'd be nice if we ever do, decide to watch. I will say this also, heel Omega is so much more interesting to me than face Omega. Like, I really wasn't understanding Kenny Omega. And maybe I don't really know any, New Japan history. Has he mostly been a face?
He's mostly been a heel. Like, he was part of Bullet Club. And like,
man,
that's kind of the idea
that's
behind what his last year was. They're like, look, everybody loves me. I don't work my best as a face, being beloved. Let me just sit. Let me just be in the background and do anything else but be in the title picture until I can be hated properly.
It was really effective.
Yes, it was really well done in that way.
Like, yeah, he's so much, and the thing I love about him too is like he's so hittable. He's so like the way he bleeds, the way he got cut after Jon Moxley headbutted when he was trying to talk shit to him. Like, I just love the mortality. And he got so pissed and it's like, God damn it, give him 2 V-triggers. Shit.
Yeah.
Like,
well, you could tell. I mean, we're only human. Getting headbutted until you bleed is going to put some fucking fire in your belly, and that's what makes it just real enough. Where it's like, yo, we need to do exploding barbed wire matches, and you need to really headbutt me until I bleed, and that's what's going to give me the adrenaline to make these fucking V-triggers look like I really want to take your head off.
Yeah.
And that's what puts a feud like this above something without that fire in it.
Mm-hmm. Just those little moments, like he looked those V-triggers looked vicious after that headbutt, because I was like feeling his embarrassment.
Yeah.
As he threw him.
I'll say about Kenny too, when the heel turn first happened, I have been on record on this show lightly criticizing his style, in that I wanted him to actually have legit, like, good fashion, because that's what he was claiming he had. But now that I've seen a little bit of the evolution over these past few weeks, even my valet happened to not be watching with me, but it was on in the same room, and she happened to look, and sometimes she does a style critique on the wrestlers, especially the women, and she was like, this guy, what the fuck is he wearing? What is even happening? And I was like, okay, you have cemented this for me now. Like, this is the perfect attire for this character. Like, it is so right. He's got a poet shirt on and these fucking weapon boots. Like, he looks ridiculous. And I love it. Ugh.
Like, so many little things.
I love it. Yeah, Kenny is on fire.
And we can count on it being a great match.
I don't really worry about them having, quote unquote blood and guts without the payoff, without it feel like it means something, that there's motivation behind the gore.
That's fair, at
least we hope. But we'll see. When's Revolution? Is that a week or a couple weeks?
It's got to be a couple weeks, I think.
That's a good question.
Couple weeks to build to it. Send some goddamn canaries out. What are you doing?
Oh no, I gotta get it fucking on it. Like we better run to this fucking paper.
Yeah.
So yeah,
baby.
the pay-per-view's starting. Do we wanna talk about little predictions here? We put it out on Twitter already, but we put it on the air here.
All right, I'm gonna throw them at you.
Let's do some predictions.
You guys got it seems like Keith Lee has been removed from the triple threat, so it's gonna be Bobby Lashley versus.
I'm really sad about that, but I'm gonna. You go ahead, guys.
I'm gonna go with Bobby Lashley because I'm black.
Lashley also because I'm black.
And Riddle because I'm white.
I hate you.
That's actually who I'm picking, but not because I'm white. Maybe
we walked right into that one. We deserved that.
I did.
Bianca Belair and Sasha Banks versus Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler. I'm going Jax Baszler. So she can meet her girlfriend in the championship match.
I hope that's true. I'm going the other way. I'm saying new champions. I think we're gonna build this. We're gonna have the tag team champions. They're gonna become best of friends. We're gonna love them as this babyface team, and then they're gonna have to wrestle at WrestleMania. Oh my God, it's a slow burning feud. I love it.
It's the story we thought we were gonna get with Asuka and Charlotte. They're gonna do it with Sasha and Bianca. So let's do it.
I'm here for it.
Sasha and Bianca for the win.
Hear that? Bianca.
And just for our listeners too, a little bit of closure. I know we're signing off here. My bong's named after the winner of the Royal Rumble. Her name is Bianca Bong Air, and you will see her. She will be
I'm on my own.
a reoccurring character on the show.
Wall.
I'm on my bong against the world. Exactly.
Hey.
So you'll see her on occasion on the program.
And this next question, I'm gonna ask you guys. Give me both
All right.
answers. So we got the Elimination Chamber match to earn a shot at the WWE Universal Title. So it's KO versus Uso versus Corbin versus Zayn versus Cesaro versus Daniel Bryan. Give me the winner of that match, and then the winner of that person versus Roman Reigns.
Cesaro.
Oh wait, you're going Cesaro.
Yeah,
he
baby.
picked
Okay.
Cesaro
I
last
stand
week.
by
So
my stupid saying 2 weeks ago or 1 week
He's
ago.
on the hook for this.
I never back down, Cesaro.
It's Cesaro beating Roman.
No, that's not happening. I am a dumb man, not a stupid one.
I think I'm a stupid one because I picked Kevin Owens to win the Universal title shot and for him to win the Universal title.
This is in protest. This is in protest. You don't believe that.
You believe
I want
Kevin
it
Owens
so
is walking
bad.
out of Sunday of this pay-per-view the Universal Champion.
I want it so
This
bad.
Wow.
I don't believe this.
Wow.
Don't throw your vote away. You're throwing away your shot.
I don't know if I can trust these Canaries any longer, but you never know. I'm gonna go Jey Uso winning the Elimination Chamber, and I'm gonna go.
Oh, shit.
No matter what happens with the match, whether it's an actual match or hijinkery, Roman Reigns is still your head of the table at the end of the night.
All right. And who do we have winning the WWE title? It's Kofi versus Hardy versus Orton versus Sheamus versus Styles versus McIntyre. I'm going Drew, baby.
Fella! Sheamus, baby.
Get out.
Dog.
I'm
going Sheamus too.
Music, so I can't really.
I'm going Sheamus. I want to pick somebody else just to be different, but Drew, as much as it's been such a great year for Drew, he's starting to turn a corner where I'm getting a little bored. And we talked about this a little bit earlier. I'm not saying he's gotta, maybe he wins it back at Mania, whatever. Maybe Sheamus doesn't even hold the damn belt till Mania. Maybe the Fiend comes back. Is he even on this show? I don't know. But maybe something happens here. Maybe Brock Lesnar's still going to come back. A lot could happen. Maybe John Cena is working us all and is gonna wrestle at WrestleMania. We don't fucking know. Maybe the goddamn Undertakers are going to unretire. We don't know. Maybe Kona Reeves is main event. We don't know. It's the WWE. Anything could happen. So yeah.
And on that one, we will catch you guys
In a few
in
hours,
just a few
but in a
hours.
few seconds, in the world of weed and podcasting, we will be right back for Elimination Chamber.
Kona Reeves.
We out.
You know, man.